best I can under the circumstances. Now, I do not want to get into it tonight.
In the climactic scene of Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, we watch as stuntman Cliff Booth fights against 3 members of Charles Manson's cult, who were on their way to murder Sharon Tate, but have now decided to kill him and actor Rick Dalton. Using the concept of Andrew Sarris's auteur theory, I will argue that this scene from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood highlights why Tarantino can be considered an auteur. Sarris argues that the director is the author and most significant creative force behind the film. According to him, there are 3 criteria the director must meet in order to be deemed an auteur. The first of these criteria is the technical competence of the director. There is no question that Tarantino is a highly skilled filmmaker, and this clip reveals several of his well-known techniques. He skillfully uses varying camera distances, movements, and angles in this violent scene. For example, the clip starts with long takes of medium and wide shots of the key characters involved, and then once Cliff's dog Brandy attacks one of the cultists, the camera rapidly cuts back and forth between extreme close-up shots and these medium shots. This fast-paced camera work serves to intensify the action, and the close-ups emphasize the bloody gore. Varying camera angles are also effectively used. When Brandy bites Tex Avery's crotch, there is a low-angle shot of his screaming face, which helps emphasize his agony. Tarantino also uses 2 high-angle shots in this clip. When Cliff stomps on Tex's face, and when he later tosses the dead body of Katie onto the floor. In both instances, this bird's-eye view adds dramatic impact to the clip. The second criteria of auteur theory, according to Sarris, is that the director has developed a recognizable personal style that is easily identifiable in their body of work. In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, his 9th film, Tarantino exhibits some of his signature characteristics: the portrayal of graphic violence, dark humor, and the subversion of history. Besides one earlier scene, there's not a lot of violence depicted throughout the film. Instead, it focuses on a laid-back, day-in-the-life type of narrative that shows the characters traversing the landscape of the film industry in 1960s Hollywood. Tarantino saves all his violence for the end, which makes this scene particularly shocking and gruesome. When watching the film, you cannot help but feel the buildup of tension that leads to this bloody climax. From start to finish, this scene is filled with brutal violence, from Brandy the Pitbull gnawing away at various body parts, to Cliff's savage beating of the intruders. It is bloody and gory in true Tarantino style. Additionally, his use of dark humor is evident. Because the violence is so graphic and over the top, at certain moments it seems almost cartoonish, and the audience is compelled to laugh. Tarantino also subverts history by having these members of the Manson family, who in reality killed Sharon Tate and her friends, slaughtered in their place, therefore altering a historic event. This is not the first time Tarantino has done something like this. He made a similar revision to history in *Inglourious Basterds*. The third and final criteria of Sarris's auteur theory is concerned with the interior meaning of the film. He believes that in order for this to occur, the inner soul of the director must come through in the final product. Tarantino's love of film is widely known, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is regarded as his love letter to the 1960s, the era that drew him to filmmaking. By including this scene in the film, he is trying to save an era that he loves, since he is revising a murderous moment in American history. The Manson murders are regarded by many as the definitive end to the feel-good 1960s, closing the decade on a bleak note, especially in the context of the film industry. Perhaps this is where Tarantino's soul is being revealed, in the optimism that is felt because of this revision of history. The final moment of the film, in which Rick Dalton meets Sharon Tate for the first time, delivers the ending that Tarantino believes should have happened in real life. It almost makes the scene, and the film as a whole, feel like a fairy tale, which is emphasized when the title shows up on screen.